I'm your host, LOCA, followed by
Lex.
And we got
Justin with Epic Infusions, LLC.
All right. Who is Epic Infusions? What is Epic Infusions?
We're an up and coming cannabis culture brand out of Western Mass, trying to make a little movement.
What made you start Epic Infusions?
Well, cannabis was always a part of my life. From the beginning, when I was younger, to now, where it helps with a lot of anxieties, depression, everyday life. And I've seen it help a lot of people, and I've been a big part of helping a lot of people understand and be educated about cannabis as a medicine, or even, like I said, an anxiety relief. Can't say a cure to anything because legalities and whatnot, but I've seen it help a lot of good people that deserve a chance.
And you had mentioned something about lymphoma, or?
Yeah, my fiance now, before we were together, she had lymphoma, and cannabis was a big part of her getting through it with nausea, and the treatment program they had her on was pretty self-destructive. So
what exactly was it that was self-destructive?
I believe doctors like to possibly overprescribe things sometimes that can help people not be in a good place in their life, and she saw that coming.
Do you think mentally?
What do you mean?
The meds that was prescribing her, were they actually mentally making her?
No, I don't think she allowed to get to that point. I think she saw a possible issue coming and saw that it was unhealthy and went with, no, I'm gonna get through this, I'm strong. And she had a big family support. I wasn't around at the time.
But there's a lot of people that get hooked on these meds.
There are a lot of people, yeah.
And it's true.
In Massachusetts, the rate is really pretty big too.
Every area,
Yeah.
even driving here, you see a lot of homeless. You see a lot of people real sick on the street, and it's really sad. I've been able to help a few people wean themselves off of, opiate restrictors and stuff like that.
How exactly? How would you approach someone?
It's a lot of willpower. It's more willpower than anything, But
how would you approach them? Hey, I have weed. How do they know?
no, man, I would tell them I know how to make things, and I would go over and I would sit with them and I would help them so they can operate and make their own medicine. I might no way, bringing people any product.
No. I mean, what exactly is it that helps? You think edibles?
I think the edibles really do help. It's more of a long-term.
And it's an alternative for.
It's definitely, absolutely. It's helpful, for pain. Mainly high-dose edibles for pain. There's a lot of people in severe pain that have to work up to a tolerance. You have a natural cannabinoid system in you. So you have to build that tolerance, and it's going to take a little while, but you can get to a point where, yes, you can take a high dose edible and have that take away the same amount of pain as a very large milligram opioid.
Have you seen that?
I've seen that. I've watched it in elderly. I've personally seen it many times. I've watched it with elderlies. I watched it with myself.
Now, can you talk more about the cannabinoid system?
So, as people, it's part of us. It works in many different ways. I don't know the exact scientifics to it, but I do understand a lot of how it's helped people and what I've witnessed, face to face with people. I've seen people with tremors take an edible and be calm as day. Or me, anxiety, I shake a lot when I talk like this.
I've seen the same, so I'm not shocked by it. I've seen the same. That's why I was just
So I'll take, sometimes a lower dose so I can get through the day.
Now let's talk about doses. What do you think is a good dose for
Well,
the average person?
The average person should probably take about 10
You
milligrams.
think?
I think so.
Average
And
person?
if you walk in any dispensary, I think they're going to tell you the same thing.
Why?
Really?
So I'm not,
Okay. Now what is average then? What is average?
what do I think? Like the normal recreational cannabis
I'm
user should
talking
be
about someone that's
taking
like 3 blunts a day, 4 blunts a day.
25 milligrams to start and work up to 50.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So about
Yeah.
4 blunts a day. So what's someone that goes to about an eighth of weed a day?
A day?
Yeah.
I start with 50 milligrams a day.
Okay, 50
Not
milligrams.
an edible, a dose. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I don't think that's too much, but people need to understand that edibles aren't your best friend when you're first trying to do edibles.
Oh, let's talk about that shit.
Can we
Oh
please?
shit. Oh
I
my
can't.
God, I have a story.
People need to understand that just because you smoke that 4 blunts a day doesn't mean your metabolism is ready to take in that much concentrates at once. So somebody might say, I smoke all day, we blunt, let's go. And then they eat a 50 milligram cookie, and then they want to call the doctor.
Yeah, literally. It's not a lie, not
So-
I'm gonna say, when I
You
took
have
an
to, like,
edible,
that's the
I
number
was-
one thing,
I was
like,
doped out like a
I'm all about
baby.
like I want
I
to
was
be able to
this
teach
thing,
people.
but
I
it-
want to be able to do like seminars and teach people how to infuse stuff. Like I want to make a real brand and business. out
But
of
the good
this.
thing about edibles is, no matter what, like worst case scenario, you're not gonna die.
You're not gonna die.
You may feel
You're not
like you're gonna die.
Your dog's
you may
not gonna
think
die
you're gonna die, but you're not gonna die.
Your dog's not gonna die either.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I've
You
seen
ever seen
that.
a dog eat an edible?
Yes.
I've
What
had.
happened? Can I please hear that?
Oh,
What happened to?
I do know a few friends. Actually, the original creator of my logo,
Yeah, dear God,
I
this guy.
had brought them some treats one day when we went over there, and they were left out for a little while, and their dog, got a little something, and he was a little twisted. His back legs weren't working for a couple hours.
That was dragging legs.
I know that's evil to laugh at, but it's
But I have seen people do some real wild shit.
Wait, rewind back to that.
You know,
They gonna be who?
I was ready to call the vet.
The internet will tell some crazy story. I've seen, you just Google, dogs that have eaten too much can. It's really sad and should be avoided at all costs.
They definitely should be avoided.
Lock your shit up. Keep your kids safe. Like, not just because the neighbor next door might think, cannabis is a stigma and still illegal. Like, you could have people in your life that just want to shit on you and call places and say, hey, man, they do this around their kids, and you need to take that seriously.
Yeah.
And lock your things up. Keep
Thank
them
you for
safe.
saying that.
Make sure your kids have absolutely no access, and nobody in your life can say that they possibly do, because there are people out there who will use that to their advantage, and try to hurt you.
Thank you for saying that.
I think people really need to understand that.
Thank you for
I
saying
know
that.
some really close people who've been in some really fucked up situations because of things like that. And I think as adults, we fought for this. We can smoke pot at home and grow at home. And if I choose it to be my medicine and my doctor says it's my medicine for certain things, we need to take responsibility.
Can I ask you a question? What's your outtake on things with people with mental illness? What's your suggestion with people like PTSD, bipolar disorder? What do you
Again,
take
I
on
have a friend out in Northampton, Mass, that he's been through some shit. He's been to a few tours. He's been through some things. It wasn't good for him. He came home, fireworks were scary. And we taught him how to make edibles, and he lives a semi-normal life. He does take a higher dose than most people, but he gets up,
What do you
So do
think?
you
he goes
think,
to work.
what is the dosage for those
He
that...
probably wakes up at like 200 milligrams. And,
Which is not
like I said, he does his own thing. He was taught, and, he has a great time doing it. He'll send me pictures sometimes, like, hey, I had fun. I learned this recipe this week.
Yeah. Do you think that people that suffer with mental illness, would you suggest cannabis to certain individuals, or like, do you think they should take psych meds?
I wouldn't say that I can necessarily diagnose or suggest anything to anybody for any specific thing.
Right.
What I can say is I've seen things. I can say that I've seen cerebral palsy get way slowed down because of cannabis.
Yeah.
I know a little boy, I'm not gonna, put his family out there. I love these people to death. We don't see each other as much as we should. We got close for a while, and, their boy ended up in the hospital out here at Boston Children's Hospital, and I had some good friends out this way who processed and willingly donated CBD isolate to them to help that boy get out of a coma.
I love
And
that.
I don't know the exact name of the prescription. It's a CBD,
I love CBD.
There's a lot of fine print people have to go through to get it for kids medically, like prescribed.
Yeah.
And they did that. They were able to do that, and they got him home. And
Awesome.
well, it was until about 2 days ago, and he's back. So prayers to them. Mason, we all care about you. We love you. That's what cannabis is to me, though. Watching people get part of their life back that they didn't have. Like, I got tears in my eyes because I've watched it. I breathe it. I live it. I fought for my family because of it. I'm here, and I'm going to make the impact that I feel like needs to be made, whether it be Boston, Brockton, Western Mass. Cannabis is here. It was illegal for too long. Its possibilities are endless between the farms, the cars, whatever you can build, buildings, hemp-free. It goes and goes. Look at the business opportunities for people that aren't even dealing with cannabis, the grow shops, the glass shops, the glass blowers. Look how much of the economy and the culture has blown up. How many more people have jobs or apparel startups?
Facts.
Opportunities to get co-signed and do stuff like this. So that's a big thing, and that's all I want to do.
I
And
failed on
I
rolling
want
up, by
that
the way,
voice. What's that?
I failed on rolling up. The weed was sticky as fuck and ripped the goddamn
And you
frontal
high.
twice. I'm high as a motherfucker.
Why are you
I
high?
failed. I'm high. No bullshit. I'm impressed, bro. I don't
Speak on
know.
what would you rate it from a level from a 1 being the worst to a 10 being the absolute best? What would you
Yeah,
rate
that's
that?
tough because I've had some trill ass wax. I got
So
diamonds.
keep it true.
We're on the 8s. So that's fair enough.
I appreciate that.
I say we're on the 8s. That's respectable in the wax world. Not some people say like 8.
I got to
that's
see
it,
you choke on it.
but yeah.
You felt that on.
Can you? I'm
that
about to
rosin,
do
the hash
another in a
rosin.
minute. Can you zoom in a second?
I can't even. I won't even dab again on camera. That was embarrassing.
See, I'm about to.
But I did tell you I was gonna die, right? I did all the paperwork before I did it, so I did not come in here like I'm the dad thing. I was like I like my blondes. This shit was all nice and steady.
And
I
I ate a
other movies
cookie.
on point too.
How I ate the cookies?
Yeah.
We just threw a little brand on there to just show what we want to eventually tap into the micro business market. We're trying to work that way now.
But right now, you have the clothing going, as you can see.
Yeah, we're trying to do, just a cool little clothing brand, get it out there.
But I get to do the cooking background. Where do they come from?
So, I cooked for a long time. I was like one of those people that couldn't focus on like going to work. You know what I mean? It was hard. I was a hostile, angry person for a long time.
So you just sat home and cooking?
So I did some factory jobs. I did a few things, and I slowly built my brand. And finally came out like, hey, here we are. Like, we're doing enough apparel. We're doing a lot of things.
Have you cooked for like a living though?
I
Like
cooked for a long time for a living, for like 15 years. Yeah.
okay, what exactly what kind of cooking?
Whether it be like restaurant, like kitchen manager, or on the line. Everything.
Okay, so like an
Yeah.
actual restaurant background.
Yeah.
So you took the
A
restaurant
lot of local
background
stuff,
and then
and yeah, a lot of recipes, a lot of stored memory, Worked at a lot of different restaurants.
what is your favorite edible recipe?
My favorite edible recipe would be the snickerdoodles that I have.
Okay, so I'm gonna try that next. Cause all I know is I'm high as fuck right now. I don't know what did it, but he did it. So now you're from where?
We're from Western Mass.
Springfield.
Springfield
Speaking of
area.
that, see? So you was willing to come out here to this side?
Absolutely, yeah. I
See?
mean, to feel like, we got the little sign going, trading pride,
See? So Boston doesn't show no love. Boston's just like to themselves all hate. People always make it and then say fuck Boston and then they get mad they don't show love. But the whole way up, they don't help you with the grind. They laugh at you. They don't support it. The support's dead free. It's free to share a link. It's free for a like. It's even when it's like $20 for an event. You figure I spent $20 on food on the way here. Ate half of it. Probably wasted $11. Like, it doesn't cost much to support, and that just means there's a whole lot of hate going on out here. People leave, they go to Atlanta. Like, you have Cousin Stiz. Where did he end up? Where is Cousin Stiz now?
I think he is down there somewhere in Atlanta.
In Atlanta or LA?
Yeah.
Dude started getting a buzz, said fuck y'all and I'm out, and really meant it. And you can't even blame him. What's the other dude that just said it?
John Lucas from Worcester, for instance.
From Worcester.
And I actually respect him because he actually did a video in the city and invited everybody in Worcester to be a part of his music video, which I think is really solid to me because a lot of people from out here actually don't come back and do that kind of stuff because of this kind of stuff actually happens. And I think in his case, he's trying to show people that he really genuinely cares where he's from and he doesn't forget where he's from. And although Worcester is in Boston, that's actually the second largest city in the state of Massachusetts. So if you want to think about it, that's a large, significant amount of people.
That's love right there.
And that's love, you know what I mean? And regardless if he's from out there, he's still from Massachusetts. And I think it's kind of sad that it has to take somebody from Western Mass to come all the way to Eastern Mass.
Just to network, just to talk, to support, show love. Like, I'm telling you, it is not going to cost you to hit that share button.
It's also bittersweet because you did that, and
It shouldn't have to be that hard, though.
That just shows.
It really shouldn't have to be that hard.
Yeah.
Dudes don't want to help. I mean, they want to see you do good, but never better than them. And if they even see the opportunity to that, it's just not.
I've seen a lot of that. You know, I've generated, like I said, we generated a little buzz around, and we left that buzz alone for a while because that's what it felt like it turned into. We had to focus on, you know, trying to do things the right way, and you know that love is real at first. You're very right.
Yeah.
Until you're standing next to that person at the same place.
And then people show love when they want something or they think it's going to benefit them in the end. But never really just love to show love.
I've been giving a lot.
You don't give me that vibe.
I've been giving a lot. I gotta say that, like, I've been shown a lot of love everywhere I've gone. I've had people that have helped me, like really physically put me in positions to help support my family and get this off the ground, who didn't know me.
Yeah.
Who put me in the right direction on how to build a business and how to do this. And, you know, the love, man, it's only going to come from the real people and who we surround ourselves by. It's not about should everybody love everybody. You gotta find the right people around you.
Like you get like I must admit, like when we first started the show, like me and him really used to bump heads, and like now he gives me like a more comfortable approach. Like I'm more relaxed. Like he doesn't give me a funny vibe. I don't feel like he's gonna do anything funny. Like I sense loyalty. Because he went out his way to contact you, which I really appreciate.
Yeah,
that.
like when he kicked the thing and said, I'm talking.
Yeah.
I get it, man. You know what you want, though. And that's what I mean, though. Those are the people you want around you. You want those people who are going to get up tomorrow morning, whether you get up, and they're going to go for that. Whatever it is for them.
We've been all grinding together.
Those are the people you need around you.
I need to zoom in on this.
Shout out to them down there, too.
This is a trill ass dab right here.
People aren't going to do that and get up at that same time and want the same dream that you have.
There we go.
They're not your people, because they're going to try to build off your dream, and when they're going to break off that dream, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
And I've seen that happen a lot. I've had that happen. You know, so the fake love is definitely real.
Yeah.
But I've gotten a lot of real love from the Boston area as well. Actually, Sean, one of them knows one of my friends out this way.
I thought these out. But yeah, good peoples.
So I've gotten a lot of Boston love. So hearing you guys talk about how Boston doesn't show love, I've been shown a lot of love by a few startups out here.
Because they'll show somebody else love that they never even met before.
Is it because
before
maybe
they met somebody they went to school with?
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Went to after school with.
Someone that she online never met before doing the same thing, but
you might be eating off my plate. Stop.
Yeah, there's enough for everybody. I mean, everybody. There's enough.
They gotta take a new motherfucking base.
Like a certain, a
Showing
small
the
percentage of the
motherfucking
world has
town.
all the money anyways.
Yeah,
So
a very small,
very small percentage of the United States has all of the money.
It's bad, but
The dad was trill as fuck. I'm gonna tell you right now.
What?
I'm gonna tell you right now. That was some trill shit.
thank you.
Which one was that? Honeycomb?
No, that was,
I called it honeycomb.
that was some great pie. That's actually from a local processor out this way. I'm not gonna divulge who, but it's actually out east here. Yeah, some real good work coming out of Massachusetts right now. Great extractors. There's growers that deserve the shot that won't get it.
Hey, what's going on? It's your girl LOCA. Welcome to the LOCA 420 show. Followed by my hosts,
Your girl Phoenix.
John Blow.
Trill Boogie Lex.
and we also got.
Epic Infusions from Western Mass. Thank you for having me out.
Thank you for coming. And right now, I would like to talk about why do you think females don't take accountability for their actions when it comes to relationships, being falling out? Like, why do we always blame the man for things going bad? Why can't we just sit back and be like, hey, you know what, I actually was being mad aggressive, or I was being too jealous and that drove him away? And why do we always point the finger? Do anybody have any suggestions as to why, or have opinions as to why that is?
Mental health. No, being this.
Think mental health?
No.
Maybe.
Being for real is maturity.
You could possibly get
Obviously,
PTSD
it's
from
not good, but it's
relationships.
maturity.
Social media.
Social
There's a
media.
lot of factors into that.
The next new thing is always right behind the next too much attention.
It takes
You
a
think it's
big
like thirsty
person.
bitches?
It takes a big person to really be like, yo, I fucked up, or yo, I was wrong. And I don't know, maybe women just don't have that kind of character it takes.
So you're telling me that y'all want me to say, you're right, it's my fault that he had sex with that woman?
That's not what we're talking
It's
about.
my fault
Look at you.
that he cheated on me or treats me like trash?
So when you're wrong, you make it wrong.
We just
I'm
talk
not
about-
saying when you're wrong, you make it right. Like,
But what if you're dealing with a scorned woman? I mean, she's been through relationships that she's been through hell and back. And when she gets you, she get with you. She don't mean to treat you all fucked up, but she mentally is just scorned.
you know how common
Like-
it is? That's a lot, but it takes someone real
But do you have the
strong.
patience to deal with that? Did you?
I have.
You have?
Yeah, no bullshit, I have. And it takes a lot of patience.
Shout out to
Actually,
you.
I love the fuck out of them, no bullshit. And I don't know, I think when you really care about someone, you become a little more patient, you deal with more bullshit, you become a fool. Yeah, but it works. You learn the person, you learn what triggers them, you just learn what works. Like, you don't, I'm telling you, different things work for different people. You'd be surprised, like, how something little will piss you off, but John, he'll be like, what, what's that? So I don't judge it. I take it as serious as the person takes it, you know?
That's true, but do you think, like, some people put like 50% in the relationships, then other people put like 30% in the relationships? I mean, you get what you receive, but at the same token, why do you think that? I don't know.
I think that comes down to
I'm gonna keep
we don't never want it.
I'm gonna keep it funky. I think me personally, a lot of women personally, like we're fucked up in the head because of the shit niggas put us through. So we don't know who's genuine, we don't know who's real, we don't know who to trust. You could be with a nigga for like 3 years, and then within them 3 years, he just switch out of fucking nowhere, like on some schizophrenia shit or some shit.
But the thing is,
And
it goes so much both ways, but we only know what affects us and what we felt, and we just assume that everyone is the person that hurt us, or not
And
just
it's
that.
always easier for them to just blame the other person because then you don't look at you. A lot of people don't even want to deal with themselves on a regular day basis, let alone be in a relationship that's failing and then admit that it was you who contributed to it.
And the people with the most problems usually run. Soon as they face the problems, they're out, they're gone. So the relationships definitely never work. As soon as you run your first fucking, who ate the last of the ice cream, it's like, all right, bitch, I'm out. when it really takes to work, you know.
He
I ain't
said-
saying to deal with cheating.
you said social
but
media.
Let the bitch eat ice cream.
You said
It works
so.
both ways though for guys and girls. Like it's just opened up new doors, you know. Like everybody's just swiping. There's always some type of
Some type of
content.
finesse going
There's
on?
somebody you can get attention from somewhere for that minute that you need it. And I prefer this. I'd rather come talk to somebody, make friends, smoke.
And they pretty much normalized cheating. They made it seem like it's no.
okay.
They played it out so much and everything. It's like, well, it happens. And they don't play the other side all the time. They don't show what that person is really fucking going
I got a
through.
question for you. I got a question for you. Speaking like that, like you know what you talk about, you
I know a
know,
little
saying you
something,
small
man.
or whatever.
I know a little
fuck with
something,
you, man.
man.
So I got a little. What's your take of this question, right? I spoke on social media like about 2 days ago. If you are dealing with a man that has a girlfriend, like you know, bitches be like, "Oh, you side bitch," and do you think that that word shouldn't be used if the man isn't married? That technically that girl is girlfriend number 2? Because I feel like you just can't call no bitch aside if you're like, because it's all fair game.
No, I don't feel like that at all.
You know?
Oh,
So a side is a side?
Yeah. If you're in something and that's there, that's a side. You remain a
Neither one
side.
of y'all are mains.
And that,
Both of y'all
you know
are
you could be in a relationship not even knowing that
Wait,
really be
girlfriend
true.
number 2. Am I lying? Am I lying to say girlfriend number 2?
I mean, it's interchangeable.
That's a girlfriend number 2
If
though.
that makes you feel good.
Now if you're married and you're in a committed relationship and you got a side,
No,
that's a
because girlfriend
different.
number 2 means the other one knows about it. You know?
These bitches be knowing about it.
If they know about it, it's fair games. But like,
These bitches be knowing about it, all right. Don't get me started.
yeah, no, bitches do
Everybody
this
want to
shit.
be polygamous nowadays. You feel me?
And I am with that shit. I'm telling you,
And
if
then
you
when
with
bitches
that
become polygamous,
shit,
they
jump
get
in my
jealous of each other.
We
motherfucking
was just
DM.
talking about that, yo. Shout
I'm
out
just
to
playing,
us.
I'm just
We was
playing,
just
y'all.
talking
I'm just
about
playing.
that. Men always try to pull up that polygamy thing, and here's my situation with it. I don't mind polygamy, but don't come through with that if you can't even. Polygamy is more than just having sex with multiple
people,
partners.
yeah.
It's
It's
the
a real
brain, it's the internal, it's everything. So if you're not willing to put in that work with one person, who's to say you're ready to do that with 7 or 3 or 4? Like, you got to be able to show that, and you can't do that, but you're like, yeah, I want to be a polygamist. Like, no, it's more than that. You're building families. Now you want to have children with the people, that's a whole nother conversation.
That is a
You're
whole
building
nother
understanding.
conversation.
You have to, that's so much. So when people just say certain things, I look at people and shake my
You
head.
okay with polygamy?
To a standard.
To a
Because
standard?
So break down your fucking standard.
So check it out. You shouldn't complain about a nigga cheating on you then.
no,
What?
you have to understand. I respect a man. Listen,
What's the difference?
listen. No. There's a difference.
Deceit is a part
There's
of
a
it.
difference. That's the whole
can't
difference.
do that.
The deceit
is the biggest
because
part.
in polygamy, we internal.
as long
It's
as
a
you know it's
foundation.
cool.
No, hold on. Let's be clear.
So what is it then?
Let's be clear. I said I respect polygamy, meaning somebody else who steps forward and says, listen, ma, I want to have multiple women in my life. Are you down with this? No, brother, go ahead and do your thing, but I'm a queen. You feel me? I like to stand with just one. I'm
Yeah.
all set. So for me, though, that's cool that you're being honest. I respect that. You should be honest with other women because there's groups, there's people who
And
like
some
that.
people, the next
So
one's
I
gonna be
believe
like,
in that.
yeah.
Like, that's cool, but do not come with me and then you have multiple females. Absolutely not. I don't like to share. Do I look like I like
You
to
just said
share?
you like polygamy.
Just saying.
No, I said I respect it. That means I'm not gonna dog somebody out for liking polygamy.
If you okay
That
with
doesn't
the
mean
dude
I
having about
practice
like
Do you
4 or 5
agree, do you?
wives, you feel what I'm saying? If you agree with the dude having like 4 or 5 wives and you down with that shit, right? So that means you know about the nigga openly fucking another chick while he in a room or whatever the case may be. The fuck is the difference?
That's why I'm not fucking with a nigga who's doing that.
So you're okay with other people doing it? You're just not okay
If
with
I'm
it?
not with it, like I'm not engaging in that. Do you know what people do out here?
I'm just
Are you
saying.
serious? No, I'm not about to judge no man. I'm not God. I'm not about to judge no man for what they do out here. That's you, cool. Just don't do that shit around me. Don't bring me into
That's a
nothing.
big difference. You saying it like you was down for that
Nah,
shit.
that's why people ask questions, and I will let you know but I don't really give a fuck about what people think. I live a little bit
I'm
differently.
with the shits, and it's not about the whole threesome thing. It really is building. I'm trying to get 3 incomes,
See?
and it has nothing to do with this. Obviously, it's actually
It's kind of like the Tierra Marie situation on Love and Hip Hop when she and Akbar was together, but she tried to lie and say she didn't know what was going on, but she absolutely did know what was going on, was down with it. And she only did that is because the sex tape was leaked. What do you do when you're in a situation like that and you don't want nobody to know that you're involved in a polygamous relationship and that kind of shit?
I feel if you're shy about it, no. If you're embarrassed about anything, you shouldn't be doing it. Anything in the world. If you're embarrassed about it, you should not be doing
Or
it.
stop telling people.
I'm not embarrassed about it, so I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm with the
You have to
shit.
just be mentally prepared for that kind of shit. You just
I'm
can't be like,
saying if you're
oh, I
embarrassed
want to
about
be in
it.
polygamy and just really just don't be mentally prepared because that's really a
I'm
strong.
ready to take on 2 headaches. I'm ready for Friday to come
Like-
and 3 direct
Like
deposits.
when somebody gets a bag, like polygamy is just not like you said, fucking. Like it's kind of like how Muslims do when they have multiple wives. One get a Gucci bag, they all get a fucking Gucci bag. That's kind of like what polygamy is really based on.
But you got the money.
But there's a difference between polygamy and polarity, and a lot of people get that confused. And I think a lot of people are naturally polygamous. There's a lot of people that are in love with more than one person and won't admit that. That's why I say, if you're not married and you're dealing with somebody that's girlfriend number 2, because think about it for a second. Yeah.
I still think,
Yeah.
Motherfuckers
Girlfriend number 2. He's not committed, he's not married.
got their own definition and that
It's
shit.
not equal. It's not.
It's equal.
You're getting a piece.
He go home at night and then the daytime is with you is every day. Like that, that's number 2.
The side. I think it's
Keep your side
interchangeable. It doesn't
until
matter
you're
which
not
one you
married.
say. It's the same
I disagree.
thing. Either way, you're in a relationship.
I
You
disagree.
cheat. Call it what you want to call it.
Niggas spending bread on the both of you bitches, you girlfriend number 2.
Who we go home
He's
to?
spending
Come
bread.
on.
That's wild trick.
Girlfriend number
He ain't
2.
supposed
Who we
to.
go home
He taking
to?
care of both of you bitches. What happened
Who we
if
live with?
what happened if you guys don't come and he's dealing with one and the other? Come on, man. There's niggas that got their own crib and got 2 girlfriends. On dogs. And they might not like it, but they know it. And she's goping them too. They ain't no side if you ain't a married man. If
You ain't seen
you're
her
not committed, because you're always thinking, what if there's always a what if possibility you're always thinking what if. You're not ready to commit with that one person and spend the rest of your life with that person, you're not ready to marry them. It's because in the back of your head you're always thinking of what if there's a possibility I meet somebody else that I'm supposed to marry. So if you're not in a committed fucking relationship with that person, absolutely you are girlfriend number 2, there is no side. Now if you're committed in a relationship and you're dealing with somebody outside your marriage, you're the fucking side. No doubts.
Have you ever been cheated on?
Yes, and I cheated too.
No, I mean, you've been cheated on?
Yeah.
How did you feel?
I felt betrayed.
Like really describe like how you felt when you got cheated on.
And I got cheated on, I ain't gonna lie, I punched a nigga in the face.
So you was mad, you was hurt,
Yeah.
you felt betrayed.
I felt betrayed, all because he
What
could
was
have
you
just been
thinking?
honest with me. And I already had suspicions, and I told him to tell me the truth. That way, I could be easily like, if that's what you want, all right, give me the room, so that way I can do me as well. We can still be together, but that means I want to see other people too. We could be in an open relationship if that's what the fuck we want. But I'm not gonna be putting 80% in the shit, and you out here talking this person, that person. That's the problem, and that's why I punched him in his fucking face.
That's how everybody
Tell me-
feels. I'm trying to tell you, everybody ever been cheated
Tell
on.
me the
You
truth.
was like, hold up, you meant to tell me that I was out here putting my honey and you've been what? Like
Could've
some
been a
people
dog.
die for it, some people get punched in the face for it. I done seen some Lifetime movies.
With you, what's going on with you and your end though?
Man, let me
Politicking
tell you,
with you right quick.
let me tell you. We got a couple of things that we want to touch upon. I know everybody heard about this straight parade.
Yeah, yo.
Man.
The fuck is
So if you
that?
haven't heard already, Boston, they're at it again. First it was the KKK march, then it was the freaking the Red Hat march, Now we have a straight parade coming out. Now, before I even touch on the
Break it
straight
down.
parade, I'm gonna talk about the fact that we just had Pride, and shout out to everybody who went out to Pride and celebrated Pride, did their thing. But we have a group of people who want to have a straight parade now for August 31st, and they want a parade that is for straight people, celebrating straight people. So I wanted to know what y'all intake is on that. You know?
I'll be there. I'm not going.
What's your thoughts on that?
I'm not going. I'm not.
You support the straight parade?
I honestly, I hate to even admit this shit. It's some petty shit, yo. Like, I'm with it because you want to be equal. Fuck it. They should be able to have one, you know? In all fairness, if you want this, they should be able to have a straight one. But at the same time, it's petty as fuck. Like, you're not celebrating none of it.
Well, I want to say, if that's the case,
But
then African American month, we should always have a parade every African
I agree.
American month.
I agree.
You gotta think about it like
Because if
this.
the Patriots could be in the
Hold
cold in February celebrating their championships and their trophies in the cold on the fucking Dutch store boat, you feel me, in the motherfucking cold, and all them black people and white people be down there downtown rooting for the Patriots,
Do you think
then black
people
people should be
show up in
able to
February?
walk their mouth their ass
Do
in
you
the winter
think
for Black
people
History
show up in
Month.
February?
But everything we fucking been through in this country.
Being this, if you think people would show up in February if they have a parade?
Can I tell you something? The largest thing that I was part of
If people
was
took it
in
serious,
2010 or 2011. 12,000 people disrupted the Christmas tree lighting for Mayor Walsh during the Black Lives Matter march, right? These people were so massive, even Black Lives Matter didn't know how many people showed up. I looked in the middle of the march, they walking beside me. I'm like, who the hell's leading these people?
what's the holdup then? Why are we
marched
getting
the
a straight
whole
parade
march.
before this? Like,
That's what I'm saying.
who's
Organized
responsible?
people are too prideful. Everybody want to put their name on it. They don't. People done messed up the game, so they done messed up relationships. But there are key people who got knowledge to gather up stuff. Like, shout out to Donnie. He didn't wait for nobody to tell him to organize people to go pray at the end of the month to celebrate those who passed away from gun violence. Nobody told him to do that. He just got up, decided to organize that and have people come meet every 30th, every end of the week, you know what I'm saying, every end of the month to go do that. So it's people just getting up and taking the initiative and being able to come together and be able to utilize what they got to come. That's what it is. But people, they don't want to do that too much. They rather talk trash and be behind social media besides doing that work. But just how people sign up for Carnival, that's how amped we need to be. The same way people get up and it's Carnival season and you feel it through the city, it's time that black and brown
what is the
people
holdup
really
then?
fill up the city.
So what's the holdup then?
I guess the cool kids got to take a step forward first. You
Today,
know?
when does it start? Today, tomorrow? What
We're
is the
the
holdup?
cool
When is
kids.
it gonna
It's what
start?
we want. It's what we got to build. That same day on August 31st, there's a young group called Boston Area Youth Organizing Project. I've been blessed to be able to work with them. They're trying to throw a huge youth event. They want to just take up space and they want to get a permit and they want to just have a huge peace event. And they're not worried about that street parade. They're trying to have everybody say, yo, let's light up our city. National Night Out is coming and a lot of people don't really go on National Night Out
Why is
because
that?
it's organized by the police and a lot of people don't mess with the police like that, which is understand. Even I have anxiety, but even for my day job, I have to work with the police. So, you know, I understand how things go. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's important for us to look at the picture and look at the further, like what's going on so we can build and we can make our blueprint. And stop just talking about it and create our blueprint now to say this is the 10-year plan with the people who are at the table. And I definitely think if you look at the bottom, you'll see follow our page, follow our team. If you're somebody who's listening to this and like, yo, you want to be down with something, you want to build something, you want us to be on it, follow the squad Local 420. Make sure you message the team. There's real people behind that. We're not just pushing buttons. But that's how it starts. If you ask, that's how it starts, with conversations and build a community.
Okay, what do you think about that police officer in Lowell? I don't know if you brought that on the news, but
Tell me about him.
it was on the news about Sunday. The Lowell police officer, he was accused for raping a homeless 16-year-old in her tent. He's been on the force for over 30 years, and he's known for being a pretty good guy, decent guy, looking out for people that was homeless or on drugs and stuff like that. And I guess when he raped her, he would throw her cash every time he did that. And now he's under investigation. They released him on personal and gave him an ankle bracelet as soon as he got arrested. What's your intake on that? That's kind of like basic
Accountability, regardless of anything. He's a police officer. He used that privilege, regardless of any other political anything.
But we don't know allegedly. I should say allegedly, because we don't know if it's the truth or
If you're an
not.
officer, you broke an oath. You hurt that trust to the public. You should be shamed in that aspect of it. And
You should get held to the same standard, though.
exactly,
No.
accountability.
He should not be held at the same
way
standard.
that.
Why not?
He should not be held at the same standard as any other person.
Okay, if not more, obviously.
No,
Okay,
exactly.
okay,
Let me be very
I'm just
clear.
saying, I mean, him being on a
No,
bracelet,
so
shouldn't happen.
You,
Yeah,
if you are a person, you are a person who, if you're a regular person and you do this, you got a punishment for you, right? But if you're a regular person, then you get trained by our government to protect and to serve, and you break that oath and you use that to do that, you should get double the sentence.
Fair enough.
Like, it should not be the
Because
same.
it's like, if you can't trust them, who the fuck can you trust? You know about my
But
grandmother?
we can't be trust. But this is the thing: we can't trust them for years, man. Look at what they're doing, man. They still get off easy.
But that's what people.
So there's also this bill, HR 40, that basically, it's basically like a research on the damage that has done during American slavery. And there's a lot more things happening right now with like conversations about reparations and bringing forth. And I know people make jokes like, yo, make 50 Cent go get that money. He'll get it real fast, you know? But like seriously.
That's a good joke.
You know, when we're talking about that, like what are y'all thoughts around something like that and the energy behind it?
I don't think they want nothing to do with that. They ain't gonna want to budge that
Why?
at all.
Break it
They
down. Why?
already see how people's already out here acting today. You know what I mean? The way they look at us and the way they acting, so they're gonna be like, we ain't giving them that money for them to blow it. Or even the ones that do got the potential to do something with that money and make something out themselves and really unite and really start forming them banks and buying back the property and all of that shit. They ain't willing to do all of that.
The rich get richer, the poor get poorer,
Yeah.
and they don't want to break
They don't
nothing
wanna
to
do
fuck that up.
That's too much of a chance. That's a risk for them.
Someone said, because some people are on that brink. Some people are on that middle point where all they need is their last ride to this interview. You know, their last chance, and fuck up, and they get it.
That's it.
Now they own property.
You know what? Speaking on that, like you said, we don't support each other. That's what it kind of relates to what you was talking about earlier in the other segment. And, a lot of us don't support each other. I want to say, yeah, exactly, and I appreciate you for that. And I want to ask you guys a question. Last week we interviewed.
Big meat. Oh my God.
We interviewed Big Meat. Shout out to you for coming. Thank you for coming last week. We appreciate you. My intake is this. I want to be able to interview a lot more people such as himself from different, prospects, different areas, and just for them to share our experience with their intake on supporting Boston and why it is so difficult for that, because also I think it's a lot of pride.
A lot of pride, a lot of hate.
It's pride. And a lot of people don't like to be themselves. They feel like if they're really not themselves or they pretend to be soft, they're not hard. If they
Remember,
that shit
Paid in
crazy.
Full, when Mitch was in the car, and he's talking about how he loved hustling in Harlem and shit, and he'll never want to leave or whatever.
Game.
And then he's like,
the streets still love
yeah, know what I mean? Like, if he do that, like, know what I mean? This nigga's gonna still react the same. And most dudes, when they be like, I'm good with the game, motherfuckers look at him different, or niggas won't treat him the same. Like, it be certain events, niggas won't even hit a nigga up, and you know what I mean? So, in order for that nigga to still be in the loop and feel like he's still a part of something, he's still going, he's going to dabble.
A question for you. What do you think, the crack epidemic, right? Do you think it's higher than what it was back then?
Has there been a significant
You
change?
talking about in the 80s? Or we talking about like
90s, whatever you talking
The
about.
80s, you talking about like
Because the
80s?
90s was booming.
Do you think
90s was,
The
yeah.
90s was booming.
the 90s was definitely booming, but do you think, like, what's the difference between the crackheads then and the crackheads now?
Now it's not crack.
Now it's dope, now it's fentanyl, now it's...
Now it's dope, man.
Straight dope. Yeah, I know what you call it. It's dope.
Yeah, it is.
It's just a different drug era now.
So what do you think about lean?
Same thing.
I can tell you, it's some dope shit, but I've been curious to try it. I hate to even tell you that shit. I'm gonna keep it true with you. I've been curious to try it. See? I'm gonna keep it true with y'all.
When it like first came out, it was probably like in 07, 08. I was like,
Yeah.
So what was it like though?
It's just like, I don't know, the music, they don't really do, I had to like, let me see, let me keep it $1. I probably had like half a cup of this shit, bro. I didn't feel no different. I was on that shit, I was popping E's, I was fucking bugged out, so it was like, it do, you know what I
I
mean?
had a conversation with a 18-year-old, and she told me that when she worked out, she had a conversation. She seen what she thought was a crackhead. And so they're like, you can't be saying stuff like this. Like, how do you know if this person's a crackhead? She said because she could tell the smell.
Nah, that's how you can't. No, because I need some functioning crackheads.
Exactly. There's some crackheads that work, that get up and, take care and pay their bills, and then some other
Put your house together, do crack on lunch break. Ride, you going to the carnival?
That Tony that be working the Ferris
That's what I'm
wheel.
saying.
Lunch break's different. My time.
It is.
So you think this is like a dope epidemic?
Yeah, that's all it is.
I think they just made it like same thing. They made it was cool. It's cool now, so it's okay.
But remember,
So
it's
now they got
recycling
these
too.
things. Now they got this thing. They're trying to help instead of walking them up. They got this thing called drug court.
And what exactly is that?
Pretty much, they go to court and they're forced to pretty much take rehab and go to classes mandatory.
It depends though too. Cause like some motherfuckers is in it for drug court, cause I got caught selling too. You feel what I'm saying? They ain't giving me no motherfucking program.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's like certain people get that privilege because motherfuckers is on drugs. It's like fuck them. They know what they doing.
That's what That's what
They fucking up their shit. They trying to survive.
For the people hooked on the drugs though, and people obviously anyone selling is gonna try to use this loophole. I think it is a helpful source, but at the same time, if they want to get off, they're gonna find a way off. If they don't want to get off, they're not.
At one point, I cared about what was going on with people who was going through that and needed that medicine. I cared about the systems that were happening, but now I'm more worried about how these little kids are going to school and there's a whole slump body in their yard. Like Orchard Garden School can't even go to school. Like they can't play in their backyards. There's needles everywhere. Like that shit ain't cool.
That ain't
Like
cool.
that whole method.
But that area been like that for years though.
Welcome to the hood.
Actually, not that long. My Sav didn't look like that. My Sav was kind of crazy.
Because the same companies that make half the opiates out there make the same drugs to give people treatment for addiction. They're literally selling you a new addiction with the same
It's just a
shit.
substitute.
It's
Yeah.
just now they just got the dope boys' money instead. Now they got legal money coming from usually
They
Mass
cutting the
Health.
streets through.
There'll be a public subsidy that pays for all of that. Thank you. You know, and then no, they need to cut that shit out and make people face it. I understand people get sick and it fucking hurts, but I've seen it work the old-fashioned way. Your family just took your ass and got you right.
Back in the
I
days,
know
they
people
didn't have
that
that.
go in these fucking clinics 10 years and they still just wake up to go to the fucking clinic, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the old-fashioned way. They didn't have all this, and they got
breaking the
by.
addiction though, if you think about it, because you still getting your fix.
Might as well just be out on the street.
You know what I'm saying?
Getting high at that rate.
Yeah.
It's
just
like
kill 'em
that's
a
like
little
saying I'm not
slower
gonna smoke
and
a
drag 'em
whole rock.
along.
I'm gonna just take one little tiny hit. Like you still gonna be doing it, bro. It's still in your system. Like,
But just to
These
slide
kids-
back real quick on that conversation about supporting folks
Yeah.
and what's going on. And I definitely think that you guys brought up really good points about like what's happening around the city. And I can't stand when people always say like, oh, Boston's a crabs in the barrel, just go with you crabs in the barrel. I couldn't stand that shit. There's a lot of people here who really do a lot for this city and bring a lot of attention to this city and make sure this city stays.
Pretty much want to touch base on July 4th and the safeties and the procedures that people need to know. Fun fact, every 4th of July, the MBTA is free for those that don't know. So if you want to go travel to point A to point B, wherever the fuck you want to go, all night, 4th of July is free. The MBTA is free every 4th of July, so don't forget that.
Go right there by Charles MGA, see the fireworks
Yep.
if you want.
Where are the
Cambridge
best fireworks
blast.
spots?
You know what I'm saying? Huh?
Where are the best fireworks
Cambridge
spots?
is one of the best spots.
I agree. Cambridge
No matter
is
where
one
you
of
go,
the
just right around it, because that's where the cannons be blasting.
Kendall Square.
The Charles
What
Yeah.
about Boston Commons?
Charles
Star
River.
Drive.
Boston Commons just
Charles
started to
River,
pop
yeah.
off a couple years ago, so that was alright too.
Yeah.
Still Drive, even Charlestown.
Now, what about as far as
Blue
safety?
Hill Ave.
What about as far as safety?
Roxbury.
Roxbury.
we just said safety. No,
Safety.
God save
I think people need to be aware that it's going to be a lot of terrorism, a lot of people coming traveling from different places. Not to mention the casinos open too as well. So there's going to be a lot of travelers out here this weekend. So I think it's best that everybody be responsible on the driving tip. Don't be out here speeding and drinking and driving. You know what I'm saying? Be mindful of people's space. If you feel open, because you know there's some people that walk by you don't say excuse me on the train. People be all crowded in the train and they be bumping into you. Try not
They
to
be
go
drunk
lose your
and they have their
head.
liquid
Because
courage.
a lady just got caught stabbing the bitch out of a road rage and the lady died. I don't mean to call the lady a bitch, but excuse my language, I'm ghetto.
You also got to determine the difference between the fireworks and the gunshots too.
Yes.
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? That's
because
gonna be
you're talking about
different.
PTSD then.
Yeah, that's gonna be different. Not even only on that. It's just like you gonna think it's fireworks going off, and then somebody out there just missing you by like 3 shots, and you just over here look, where the fuck they coming from? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't know the situation
And a
you're
lot
in,
of
so
people
it's
are-
like you better go to places where you know you're gonna be comfortable.
Let's
at.
have fun, yo. Also, like, guns. Keep the guns out of the equation, because there's gonna be kids out, families.
We should be able to just go out and just have
You
fun,
feel like
have a good time, celebrate.
go light
Keep
up a
that
couple
ghetto
Roman
game.
candles and just shoot it out
Yeah,
like with the
like,
Roman
you
candles
know,
like when
grab
we
a
was younger.
grill.
We used to give the kids sprinklers all night. We used to we can't be doing that no more. You gotta have them.
Put on a show for the little
Yeah,
ones.
try not to be out here wilding, because we're already going through a significant amount of losses in the city. Unfortunately, we already talked about this last week, but it's getting worse and worse through day by day. We losing motherfuckers out here, and it's kind of getting disgusting, if you ask me. So I ask everybody to please keep the drama to a minimum and just enjoy yourself, because even though it's 4th of July, black people really don't have no business celebrating this shit, but it's still
But
a
if you
national
don't-
holiday.
Honestly, if you're gonna
Just put
go
the day
out,
off then, if nothing else.
if you're
Yeah,
gonna go
yeah.
out, if you're gonna go
Enjoy
out,
yourself.
let's be real. I'm gonna be very, very just transparent. If you're gonna go out, and if it's not Pepper Potts party, if it's not certain people, Clean Cruise party, somebody who you know got full-blown security is gonna protect people and make sure that they have a very safe yard, people who are very loving, then don't go out to nobody's regular cookout party.
Yeah.
Or
Right?
Slayers events, because I fuck with Slayers. I've been on many of Slayers and we've never had no
Yes.
problem.
Slayers
So
events.
Slayers another
Shout out
one that I'm
to
telling you.
Slayers. Shout out to
If his
Slayers.
name's on there, you're good. You know everything's
Slayer,
smooth.
actually, personally, I always go to Slayers after hours and stuff his events and stuff like that. And I've never seen any kind of occasions on the type of beefs or anything. He always makes sure
Exactly.
people are
And it's
safe.
funny, people
Shout out to
think that everyone has fun
Naisha.
and then there's never no
Exactly,
problem.
yeah.
Shout out to Naisha.
Big shout out.
Shout out to
Big
Naisha,
facts.
because she always makes sure people come
People
through
who
and
make
say,
sure that
Val
security
too.
is
Shout out
there.
to you, Val, because when you at the
Too
door,
much.
you
Shout out to
Tay.
Too Much.
Shout out to Tay Too Much and
Because
y'all-
there's people who keep the nightlife up, there's people who do keep Boston up to make sure that it's safe and make sure people are good, and everybody got their little private things too. Just be safe, yo. If you got a chip on the shoulder.
Shout out to Zaddy Star too. She be doing her thing as well.
Yeah, check that. Exactly.
Oh, cool as fuck.
Yeah, I love Zaddy Star's
Cool as
vibe.
fuck.
Shout out to her
Yeah.
as well. So I'm actually hosting an event on August 17th for the bonfire. You know, my birthday's the 15th and all, but
Shout out to that Leo gang. Go
you
ahead.
know, but I really think, like you guys said, safety is a really big major.
Another thing too, for the fellas, the police is gonna be on overtime.
Yeah.
So if y'all riding more than 2 deep, you're getting pulled over.
Automatic.
You might get pulled over 1 deep if it depends on who the fuck
But
you
more
are.
than 2 deep?
But more than
automatic.
2 deep, you're getting pulled over. They ain't playing that game. They know what time it is out here. So don't think you're pulling a fast one or nothing. Like, just know they're gonna be out here. It's gonna be bad. They're gonna be very, very busy.
Please always keep an eye on your children too, like all the little ones. Don't let them wander off by themselves. There's gonna be a lot of people, and there's a lot of sick people in this world. Also, like, you know, speaking of the whole Joshua situation again, when you go somewhere together, you leave fucking together. Don't go somewhere and you leave your fucking friend because they're so drunk. And we already talked about this numerous times. I'm gonna say this to every show, every time there's something going on like this. When you go somewhere together, you must sleep together. If you are not for sure that this is what you want to do, and you second guess the shit, that means you need to second guess your ass and stay the fuck home.
Or
You know what I'm saying? Also, make sure you cook all your burgers all the way. Like, no raw meat, please.
Oh, God.
No raw meat, no
Yeah, that's why y'all need to eat
dogs.
before y'all go to these people's cookouts.
Like, I gotta wash
So you
niggas
said
make
to eat
shit.
before you go to the cookout?
Hell yeah. What you thought? First of all, it's not even a cookout. Come over here.
Yeah.
We gotta talk about this. We gonna talk about this. So, I'm coming for y'all. $40 for a cookout,
Damn, I'm not
and y'all not
doing
even giving water or a clean bath?
I'm not doing 40.
Bro, what is going on with
I
these
can go to
cookouts?
Fridays and chill.
Are we gonna talk about it? Like $40 for a cookout?
Yeah, no,
Seriously?
of course.
Y'all are forcing it. Y'all not even giving cooked food.
For $40, I want a happy ending.
Also want to keep in mind the future events will be occurring. We starting to do bus parties again, bro. So you know,
Very
a lot of
soon.
very
We had
soon.
some very nice ones.
And we're
Some
about to
very
start doing bus
stoner
parties. And now the casino's open, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people that want to get on the bus and they want to do their thing, you know, driving there and back, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a whole bunch
Let me
of
put that
festivities.
plug in real quick. August 1st, starting August 1st, Rising Ashes will be hosting at Encore. We will definitely have packages for people. You will be notified about our hotel packages as well as your gambling packages and entertainment. So let it be known, August 1st.
Oh shit, I'll be there.
shit.
I'll be there.
A lot of stuff
I
is
will be
happening.
there, y'all.
We in there.
See, there's a lot of great things. A lot of people are doing great, excellent things this summer. A whole bunch of fun stuff is going on. So keep in mind, like, keep on, you know, I always remind myself that I have a little short temper from time to time. So I ain't a perfect person. That's why they call me LOCA, because the back shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? I can admit that fucking shit. But there comes a time where you fucking get your mind right and realize, is it worth me going to jail for a motherfucker? Is it worth my freedom? That's the question.
Shit changed when you mad, cause now I tell you no, but when you mad, you be like, well, this might be the day.
Well, you know, I do want to say, as we talk about a lot of people who don't get along or how people hate on each other, I do want to talk about people who do get along with each other. For many years, I've been a part of different promotion crews. But one crew that I will say, since I was damn a youngin' in this game, is Warrior Freak from A Freak Entertainment. Him and a few other amazing gentlemen have come together to make Friday nights. They opened up Guilt and opened up Candy Bar.
Yeah.
So 2 club nights after 12:30, you have access to both. That's something. We had Safari. That's something that we're having Rotimi come through. We got,
I like her.
You know what I'm saying? Different people like him. That's the dude from Power.
Oh, his big nose though?
So we want to make sure people come out. We will let you know. As we said, we're going to have events coming up. It's Leo season. It's Loca's birthday season. She's all humble
I'm about to be 32,
Nipsey
so this is
Hussle's
a milestone
birthday.
in my life. August
Big
15th.
freaking Beach from Chicago's
Leo, which
birthday.
for you?
What is
July
it?
25th.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to my brother Crazy Bones. He's July 31st.
Okay.
So I see Leo gangs. I see what we gonna do. We gonna be lit. So stay tuned. We gonna have some stuff. So make sure you're following the page. Because if we have an event, if we throw some tickets away, we gonna make sure we throw it out to the people showing love. So make sure you hit that click button and follow. You can see on the bottom of the screen, you'll see that. Follow all of that. Make sure you follow the squad.
Yes, make sure you subscribe that subscribe button on YouTube, the Local 420 Show. Make sure you follow all social media outlets. If you would like to be a guest on our show, if you have anything going on great for yourself, make sure you email us at LOCA 420 showcast@gmail.com.